Into match number 5 we go now, over in League 2 with Crewe, Alexandra, Grimsby Town, Chesterfield leading the way over in English's 4th tier. But will they still be there after this coming weekend? We're going to get into that and much more next. That's right, folks, back once again with another video. Today we take a look at League 2. That's right, it is match number 5 and it's coming at you this coming weekend. No rest for the wicked, just around the corner. But of course, who did take full advantage this past midweek, and of course who will take full advantage this coming match week? We'll get to that in a minute. If you're new, where you been, smash your subscribe. You want some football, Blackburn Rovers, League 2, Ball Football. We're going to all hear under Warruski. That's right, Crewe, Alexandra make it 4 wins out of 4. The only perfect side left in League 2, but can they make it 5 wins out of 5 to really get their League 2 campaign up to the perfect start? We'll get into all of that and more in a second. Big shout out to the members and the patrons, you know who you are. But let's recap the results from this past midweek and look forward to another weekend of drama in League 2. So here I'll go then. Recap of the results this past Tuesday. Was there a game on Wednesday? I don't know. But anyway, these are the games. These are the results. My picks on the left. The real deal's on the right. Not too sure how I got on. So we'll look. Stanley against Tranmere was postponed due to the EFL League Cup match this week, which of course was postponed originally. Newport County, they lost to Salford City. I went with a 2-1. It was a 1-0 win, not too shabby by me. Bristol Rovers, a terrible start to the campaign, but the 0-0 draw against Oldham, which I got bang on the nose. We had Bromley with a 2-1 win. They are flying high up to 7th in the table right now over Cheltenham. I went the other way. Colchester lost at home to Cambridge, which was a bit of a kick in the teeth for the Cowleys there. Crawley Town and MK Dons with the 1-1 score draw. MK Dons looked like they were getting some form together, but another stodgy draw. Gillingham tonked Chesterfield. I know they are 3rd, but Gillingham now cooking with some goals as well under Gareth Ainsworth. Fleetwood Town with a 4-1 loss to Crewe as they flex their muscles to go to top of the table. Harrogate Town with a 1-1 win over Barrow. I went with a 0-0. Barnet beat Ian Holloway's Swindon Town 2-0. I went the other way. Grimsby picking up a win over Walsall. Didn't see that one coming. And Notts County did beat Shrewsbury 4-1. I went with a 3-1. So, yeah, a bit of hit and miss in the old picks there. This is the table as I see it. Crewe are flying high. Grimsby in Sexport and Chesterfield are in 3rd. Going down Shrewsbury and Cheltenham, but it's a bit of a stanky start for Crawley, Bristol Rovers as well, and Stanley. It is, early days still, of course. Yeah, this weekend will be match day number 5. Speaking of match number 5, we do have our prediction league. I haven't even given you one single update on this, but it does exist. Because of the start of the season, just trying to get in a rhythm, we are going to give you periodic updates. We're doing once a month. I'm going to do one maybe heading into September, either next match day or the first match day of September. So make sure you just keep on doing your thing. The form will be out there lickety split. But these are the next round of games which do come at you this coming weekend. And we're going to start it all off with a trip to Newport County. That's right, early door kickoff over in Wales, of course. Newport County to David Hughes taking on MK Dons and Paul Ward and coming at you at Newport County. Played 9 times in 2016. 2 wins for the hosts, 5 wins for the visitors, and there's been 2 draws between the two sides. Newport County so far picking up 4 points out of a possible 12 up against MK Dons, who are 5th with 8 points, unbeaten so far with 2 wins and 2 draws. Coming into this, their last play at Newport County with a 9-goal thriller back on the 21st of December 2024. 6-3 it was for Newport County. Actually, the hosts are unbeaten against MK Dons at this very venue over the last 3 matches competitively. And they've only conceded 3 goals in those 3 games. So if you take that 6-3 out of it, MK Dons haven't scored in a couple of games in Wales. Coming into this, Newport County on the back of that 1-0 loss to Salford. MK Dons on the back of that draw against Crawley. The bookies have 7-2, your Newport County. 2013 Onish MK Dons. 3-1 is the draw. MK Dons yet to taste defeat, and I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for them on this one as well. Meanwhile, Walsall taking on Salford City. Walsall under Matt Sadler are 11th right now, 6 points for them. We get Salford under Carl Robinson. They are 4th with 9 points. And have taken on Walsall 12 times since 2019. 5 wins Walsall, 6 wins Salford. Just 1 draw between the two sides. Coming into this, they last played at the Bescott back in January. Take that back in February 2025. It was a 2-2 thriller, of course, in League 2. Also on the back of that 1-0 loss to Grimsby. Salford with that 1-0 win over Newport County, which we just mentioned before there. Then, of course, 6-5 is your Walsall, 11-5 is your Salford, 9-4 is the draw. This was a tight one. Salford have got the form right now, but Walsall at home could be a tricky wicket. Gonna go with a 2-2 thriller right down the middle to add some drama to the mix. Next over to Accrington Stanley as they take on Grimsby Town. That's coming at you over in Stanley. They played 17 times in 2006. 9 wins Stanley, 5 wins Grimsby, 3 draws between the two sides. Accrington coming into this under John Doolan. They are 20th, of course, just one draw for them over the course of the season. Grimsby are second, 10 points of a possible 12, and they're cooking right now under David Artell. They last played over at Stanley. It was a 3-2 win. That's back on New Year's Day 2025. 3-2 win as it was. Stanley on the back of that 2-1 loss to Salford. Grimsby picking up that 1-0 win over Walsall on the road. So this is back-to-back away trips for Grimsby. 23-24 the visitors there. 23-10 is your Stanley. 23-10 also the draw. So quite tight along the bookies, but they do give it to Grimsby. I think I'm going with a 1-0 shock win for Accrington Stanley on this one. Let's go forward then, shall we, as a terrible Bristol Rovers take on a Cambridge United side coming at you this coming weekend. 21st place Bristol Rovers under Darrell Clark, just 1 point for them. That 1 point was their last match. Up against Cambridge under Neil Harris, they are 9th. 7 points for them this season, just 1 defeat in the last 6 competitive matches. The 16 times they played since 2002, 9 wins Bristol Rovers, 6 wins Cambridge, 1 draw. They last played at Bristol Rovers way back in August 2025. It was actually this season in the EFL Cup round 1 just the other week. They last played in the league, though, back in August 2024. Around about this time last season, but it was in League One, where both sides, of course, suffered relegation at the end of the season. Bristol Rovers on the back of that new draw at home to Oldham. Cambridge with that massive 2-1 win at Colchester to kickstart their season. The odds here, 11-8 is your Bristol Rovers, 19-10 is your Cambridge, 11-5 is the draw. We are going another draw here, 1-1 in the bank. Bristol Rovers getting points in the bag slowly but surely, but they need to start getting some big ones to move up the table to meet the understanding that they are one of the favourites. So they were one of the favourites before we even kicked the ball, but right now they're looking pretty ominous. Meanwhile, Cheltenham take on Barnet. Coming at you over at Cheltenham. Michael Flynn's boys are 24th. They're bottom without a win this season in the league. They do have a win to their name on their record. I'm going to take a look at that in a minute. Barnet, though, under Dean Brennan, they're also struggling. 18th right now with 3 points for them. They played 16 times in 2005. 5 wins Cheltenham, 4 wins Barnet. There's been 7 draws between the two sides. Speaking of draws, they last played back in January 2018. It was a 1-1 scoreline. That was back in League 2. Barnet on the back of that 2-0 win over Swindon. Big win for them to start their season. Cheltenham's one and only win was a 2-0 win over Exeter in the Cup back on the 13th of August. After that, it's been defeat after defeat. Moving forward, the bookies here, 13-5 is your Cheltenham, even Stevens as your Barnet, 12-5 is the draw. So Barnet are favoured here with the victors. I'm going to go with a Cheltenham victory. They've got to get win. I think it was slow stars last season. It bit them in the ass in the end because they got relegated. So they need to get going and they need to move fast here. Colchester United up against Barrow coming at you at Colchester. Danny Cowley's boys in a bit of a rough patch right now. Just 5 points for them over the course of the season. Against Barrow and Andrew Wing, who are 19th right now with 3 points. They played 10 times since 2024 wins Barrow, 1 for Colchester, 5 draws between the two sides. In fact, it's been back-to-back draws between the two sides last season, including the 0-0 draw over at Colchester back in May. Colchester on the back of that 2-1 loss to Cambridge. Barrow losing away to Harrogate Town. It's back-to-back away matches for Barrow. Coming into this, 23-20 is your Colchester, 12-5 is your Barrow, 11-5 is the draw here on this. Tight one here. Cowleys need a win. They'll get back into it for me. 2-1 winners to take it to the mixer. Crawley Town up against Tranmere. I had high hopes for Tranmere, but of course it doesn't look like it's going to be that way this season. Up against Crowley under Scott Lindsay, who are 22nd right now with just the 1 point. Of course, they say never go back. He went back. And it hasn't been the same since for Crawley and Scott Lindsay. Tranmere under Andrew Crosby coming into sitting in 13th right now with 5 points. They've taken on Crawley 15 times since 2012. 7 wins apiece and 1 draw. Last time around over at Crawley, it was a 3-2 win for Crawley back in September 2023. That was in League 2. Crawley have actually won 3 on the bounce against Tranmere in all competitions and all venues. Crawley on the back of that 1-1 scoreline against MK Dons in the Scott Lindsay derby. Tranmere last match was the 5-4 penalty shootout lose to Burton. That was this week as well in the Cup. They are out. Burton are through. The odds for this one then, Crawley are 30-8 for the victory, 13-8, Tranmere 11-5 is the draw. The bookies don't know which way to go. I've got to back Crawley here. They should be one of the powerhouses in this division, but right now, I don't know when or where the next victory is going to come for them. Meanwhile, Gillingham up against Crewe, coming at you over at Priest's Fields. That's right, played 32 times since the year 2000. 13 wins Gillingham, 12 wins Crewe. There's been 7 draws between the two sides. The Gills under Gareth Ainsworth sit 6th right now with 8 points for them. I just 1 defeat in the last 6. Up against Crewe under Lee Bell, they are top with 12 points of a possible 12. They last played at Gillingham. It was a 0-0 scoreline back in February 2025. Crewe, though, are unbeaten against Gillingham over the last 4, picking up a couple of wins and a couple of draws. Both the home wins, though, were at Gresty Road. The draws were at Gillingham. Coming into this, though, Gillingham on the back of a 4-1 monster win over Chesterfield. Crewe also same scoreline away to Fleetwood Town. The odds for this one then, 31-20 is your Gillingham. We have 50-8 is your Crewe. 2-1 is the draw here. At the start of the season, I fancied Gillingham to win this one. I think I've got to go with that. 2-1 win. I know Crewe look good, and it might be a draw, but a narrow win for Crewe for Gillingham for me on this one. Moving forward, it is Fleetwood Town taking on Oldham, coming at you at Highbury. That's right, Fleetwood under Pete Wild. They're 10th. Their early season promises kind of dwindled down a little bit with just 7 points winners in the last 3. I guess Oldham and Mickey Mellon, who are 17th right now with 3 points. Those 3 points have come on the back of 3 draws. So they played Fleetwood 11 times since 2012. 3 wins Fleetwood, 6 wins Oldham. There's been 2 draws between the two sides. They last played over at Fleetwood in the league. 2-2 scoreline way back in September 2017. That was in League One. Fleetwood on the back of that big scoreline loss to Crewe most recently. Oldham on the back of that a crucial point away to Bristol Rovers. The odds here 29-20 is your Fleetwood Town. 15-8. Your Oldham 9-4 is the draw. We're going with a 2-0 win for Fleetwood. Oldham, again, fighting life. A little bit tricky in League Two, but doing all right. Getting some points on the board at the moment. Meanwhile, Harrogate Town up against Chesterfield, who took a bit of a tonking this past week. Harrogate Town and Simon Weaver are 8th right now with 8 points. Up against Chesterfield and Paul Cook, who are 3rd with 9 points. They've won 3, lost 3 over the last 6 matches, both home and away, and competitive and friendlies. Coming into this, they played Harrogate 6 times in 2018, and they've yet to taste victory. 4 wins for Harrogate, 2 draws between the two sides. They last played over at Harrogate. It was a 2-1 win for the hosts back in November 2024. Coming into this, Harrogate on the back of that 1-0 win over Barrow. Chesterfield did lose, of course, to Gillingham. The odds right here, right now, heading into this. Harrogate 16-5 for the victory, 4-3 on issue. Chesterfield 13-5 is the draw. Got to back Chesterfield for this one, 2-1 win. I know they took a bit of a tonking this past week. But yeah, they've got to bounce back. They've got to bounce back fast. Meanwhile, Notts County, we get this Bromley coming at you over at Notts County. Martin Patterson's first victory this past midweek. They sit 15th at the table with 4 points up against Bromley and Andy Woodward, who are 7th, unbeaten in the last 5 matches, and of course got 8 points to their name. They played 10 times since 2019. 2 wins Notts County, 3 wins Bromley. There's been 5 draws between the two sides, including a draw when these two sides last played at Notts County back in January 2025. It's actually been 3 draws at the last 4 between these two sides. And they've also exchanged victories. So between the two sides of the last 6, 1 win apiece and 4 draws, so quite evenly matched these two sides. Bromley on the back of that 2-1 win over Cheltenham. Notts County with a big 4-1 win over the Shrews there. 23-20 is your host. 9-4, your Bromley. 23-10, the draw here. It's tight. Going to go with a 2-0 win though. Notts County to win it, bringing the 3 points home. And then finally, we've got a Swindon Town taking on Shrewsbury. With Ian Holloway up against Michael Apton in the dugout. They played 14 times in 2006, 8 wins Swindon, 3 wins Shrewsbury, 3 draws between the two sides. Swindon currently find themselves in and around mid-table with 50% form, winning 3 and losing 3, up against Shrewsbury, who are 23rd, just the 1 point for the season so far. They last played over at Swindon, 1-0 win as it was for Shrewsbury back in February 2021 in League One. Swindon losing to Barnet most recently, Shrewsbury on the back of that 4-1 loss to Notts County. The odds here 6-5 on is your Swindon, 10-3 is your Shrewsbury, 5-2 is the draw. Shrewsbury are in trouble. Swindon will bounce back with a 2-1 win to take the 3 points. And if I'm right, which I bloody well hope so, this is what the table will look like, my friends. It will be Crewe at the top still, despite the defeat. Chesterfield in second. MK Dons into third. Going down, Bristol Rovers and Shrewsbury in a surprising one, because they were both in League One last season. So goodness gracious me, the big boys are taking the tumble. And of course, don't forget we have a prediction league. It is 100% free. I don't get anything out of it. It's in-house, just between you and I. Have a bit of fun. It's still plenty of time. And of course, you can be in the names of the mixers when we come back around. But that's it, guys. Until then, I'll see you soon whenever I return. But until then, we're done.